Welcome everyone. Today we'll dive deep into the prophecy of Daniel chapter 8, a vision that has fascinated students of Scripture for generations. This chapter outlines a series of events with incredible historical accuracy, many of which were fulfilled hundreds of years after the vision was given to Daniel in 553 BC. Gabriel, the angel, is sent to explain the vision to Daniel, emphasizing its divine importance. In verses 20 and 21, he clearly identifies the ram with two horns as the kings of Media and Persia. The he-goat with a notable horn between his eyes is identified as Greece, with the great horn representing its first king, Alexander the Great. Alexander's empire was swift and vast. By the age of 32, he had conquered the known world, just as the prophecy predicted nearly 2 centuries before his birth. But his reign was brief. After his death, his kingdom was divided into 4 parts, which perfectly aligns with the 4 heads of the leopard in Daniel 7:6 and the 4 horns that rise after the great horn is broken in Daniel 8:22. Then comes a mysterious figure, an exceeding great horn, rising not out of the west like Rome, but waxing great toward the south, east, and the glorious land, Jerusalem. Unlike the Roman Empire, which expanded largely westward at first, this horn matches the rise of Mohammedanism, Islam. Muhammad, born in 570 AD in Mecca, began preaching in 610 AD, fled to Medina in 622, and launched a movement that spread rapidly southward, eastward, and into the Holy Land. This new power opposed the daily sacrifices established in Jerusalem. But to understand the full picture, let's look at the history of the daily sacrifice. First, it was taken away by Antiochus Epiphanes, a ruler of the Seleucid Empire who desecrated the temple. Then it was restored by Judas Maccabee, who led a revolt and cleansed the sanctuary. But later, Rome removed it again during the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD. Finally, after some restoration of sacrificial practice, it was abolished once more by the rise of Islam, the third and final removal of the daily sacrifice. Daniel 8:11 says that this horn magnified himself even to the prince of the host, a clear reference to Yeshua, the Messiah. Interestingly, in the Quran, Muhammad is said to be the final and greatest of 4 messengers from God: Moses, David, Jesus, Yeshua, and Muhammad. This directly elevates Muhammad above the Prince of Heaven, fulfilling the prophecy that this horn would magnify itself to the prince. Furthermore, the prophecy states that 2,300 evenings and mornings would pass before the sanctuary would be cleansed. Since 2 sacrifices were offered daily, morning and evening, this equals 1,150 days in total. This fits exactly with the time period during which Antiochus removed the sacrifices until Judas Maccabee restored them. It is a precise fulfillment that lends credibility to the prophetic timeline. Finally, verse 23 explains when this would all take place. In the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance shall stand up. This exceedingly great horn, symbolic of Mohammedanism, arose during the last phase of the 4-fold division of Alexander's empire and during a time of great spiritual decline. Daniel's vision is not just historical, it is a spiritual wake-up call, reminding us of God's sovereign hand over kingdoms, empires, and the affairs of men. Stay tuned by subscribing. Soon we will uploading the explanation of Daniel chapter 9.